hour of every day, people are getting connected and getting the answers they need thanks to the United Way's toll-free 211 Infoline. Joining me today is Richard Porth, the President and CEO of the United Way of Connecticut, and Tanya Barrett, the Senior Vice President of the 211 Health and Human Services. I want to thank you both for being here on Connecticut Style today. I think 211 is really underutilized. There's so many services that are provided and people just might not know about it. But really, talk to me about some of the services.
Well, 211 is a call for help. It's really a self-help type call-in line, and we've been around for a long time, actually. It used to be known as Infoline. We were started up by the United Ways in Connecticut. There are 15 of them now, and they still support us. The idea was to make sure that when people needed help of any kind, anything from A to Z in health and human services, that we could help them navigate the system. It can be pretty complicated sometimes, finding the right place to go for help and accessing that help. That's what we do. And soon after we got started, the state government began to support us because they understood also that for people in Connecticut to thrive and to make a good life, they needed, and when they needed help, they could turn to us and access the supports that they need.
Well, sometimes, people turn to the internet to try and get answers, but it's so much more helpful to actually speak to a human, and
Right.
They can offer more assistance that way. Now, is there a cost associated with this?
There's no cost to the callers. It's confidential, 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Multilingual. Anyone in the state can call us, and there's no cost. We're able to provide the service because of the support we get from United Ways, but especially also because of the support we get from the state government, which has been a great supporter of 211, including when they designated 211 as the 3-digit call-in number for our service.
Everyone really should memorize that,
Yeah.
211. It's pretty simple. Tanya, you have multilingual staff, and you have assistance for hearing impaired.
Yes, we do. We have multilingual staff available to
Any
anyone.
language?
Any language. If we don't have it in-house, we utilize our tele-interpreters line where, any language that you prefer to speak in, that's what will work with you. And our call specialists are professional call specialists that are ready and willing to help you sort through life's challenges and figure out what the best resources are to meet some difficult situations that we often hear about.
Speaking of that, I lived in Louisiana when Hurricane Katrina hit, and we would turn everyone to 211, and it was a 24-hour assistance line that anyone could get help with, and at that time a lot of people needed the assistance. But we're also talking about the winter storms. People don't know where to turn. Are you assisting people with that?
Yes, we're getting lots of calls from Connecticut residents during the storms. We hear from people who are looking for help with reporting storm damage and snow removal and reporting power outages. So our call specialists are ready to help people find the appropriate resources. We're available 365 days per year, 24/7, and whether it's during a storm or during regular times, our staff will help families to even if they're looking for help with an elderly parent or to find child care for a child or
Like daycare, you would be able to help people with that problem.
Yes,
or
absolutely.
At least, put them in the right direction. Let's see, about how many calls a year do you receive?
Teresa, we get about last year we got 360,000 incoming calls into our 211 center, almost 1,000 a day. And we also have a website, www.211ct.org, where another roughly 550,000 inquiries were made, people, again, looking for help. Over the past year or two, we've gotten more calls from first-time callers, oftentimes working families, people who have run into some trouble with their mortgages or maybe lost a job. And so we're getting more and more people from all across the state who turn to us to try to access the services they need.
Well, that's great that this service is available to them. Tanya, you mentioned crisis situations. You actually get suicide calls. And how do you help with these?
Yeah, we're actually part of the National Lifeline, which is a suicide prevention line that's available nationwide. We answer those calls for Connecticut. And, you know, whether people are needing suicide prevention counseling or they're having crisis because of a situational issue, like Rick was mentioning, you know, people who are looking for shelter or who need heat, sometimes that can rise to the level of a crisis. And our call specialists are certified by the American Association of Suicidology to provide crisis intervention and support.
So you guys are really saving lives each day. So I want to thank you both for being here and, of course, for what you do.
Thank you, Teresa.
You can dial 211. All the information is actually on the screen right there. 365 days a year for information to crisis to really just about anything. You could also visit 211ct.org. And, of course, all that information will also be on our website. Don't go anywhere. There's much